that there was a party at Clive Davis's house, and that's where the story began. Clive Davis's house.
He revealed his sexuality. They did it with understanding and support and warmth, and it really impressed me and continues to impress me. As far as myself is concerned, I was totally straight until through my second marriage. I've got 4 kids and grandkids. I opened up myself after the failure of my second marriage, never having had anything with a man, to see, could I be attracted to the person and not the gender? And I did find that I could be attracted to a man.
Y'all want me to talk about Clive Davis? Okay, let's do it. But I'm telling y'all right now, this story already took a turn that I was not expecting. So Clive Davis is over Arista, which is over Diddy's Bad Boy records. Now, rumor has it, allegedly, Diddy got on his knees for Clive Davis in 1994, and that's how Bad Boy Records.
Power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
And his mentor was
Andre Rell.
Tell us how
who was mentored by Clive Davis.
A new lawsuit just came out that shows tons of evidence that P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, has been running a sexual blackmail operation very much like Jeffrey Epstein, but in the rap and music industry for basically 30 years. And in that lawsuit, we learned that his head of security while he's running the sexual blackmail ring is this guy named Fahim Muhammad, who before working for Diddy was the head of security for Michael Jackson when he was only 21.
Puff and Tupac was like a couple, seemed like to me. It was just a lot of weird shit going on, you know what I'm saying?
This rapper and him, they all in the room together.
Girl, hold on to your weaves because the tea is hot today. The streets are buzzing, and word on the block is that Clive Davis just dropped a bombshell that has Diddy shook to his core. You won't believe what's going down in the music industry right now, so here's the scoop. Clive Davis, the legendary music mogul who's seen it all, has finally decided to spill some secrets. And guess who's at the center of this mess? None other than Diddy himself. The revelations are so juicy, they'll make your grandma clutch her pearls. But wait, that's not even the craziest part. Diddy's reaction? Oh, honey, he is losing it. You won't believe how he's handling this. Trust me, this celeb drama is about to get real messy, and you do not want to miss what's coming next.
And in the lawsuit, he implied that Meek Mill and Usher were part of these freak-offs that he's so infamous for.
Let me ask you, is this still doubtable at this point that Diddy is, you know?
Listen, until I see it, I'm not going to say that it happened.
Man, listen.
There's been lots of, in fact, this one dude, you know, Fat Jewish, you know who that guy is? It's this like Jewish comedian guy. He went to this whole story, and this story has been kind of popping up again, but he was saying he was at this one house party, and it was a super, super high end. He wasn't even sure how he even got in there, but as he was walking around, I think he was trying to find a bathroom, and he walked into a room, and it was Diddy and this gay DJ named Felix the House Cat, and they were like spooning, according to him. And he said that Diddy saw him, and their eyes kind of locked, and they tried to get him to say that he was joking or whatever else, but he kind of keeps saying the story over and over again. And I looked up, Felix the House Cat is an openly gay DJ. You know, that part is established. I don't know. I'm not going to say it happened. I'm going to say it didn't happen. I wasn't there. I've never had any sort of gay experiences with Diddy.
There's just too many clues, brother.
Remember Wendy Williams got kicked off the radio for that?
Yeah.
When she brought up and said that there's some, you know, she has some sort of gay proof, Puffy called and said, you either get rid of her or I'm suing. They got rid of her.
But that was probably at the apex of Puff's powers.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, these are my Wendy from the radio show
days. Before she went on TV.
Yeah,
she had to go to Philly because of that.
Yeah.
And I remember when I interviewed her, she kind of alluded to that. She goes, I was burned at the stake for that. Now look, rah, rah, rah.
Right.
There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams. And she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career. And it's all coming full circle now. So,
listen, I don't know. Is Puffy gay or bisexual? I don't know. I've never been there. There.
If it looked like a gay club, smelled like a gay club, it's probably a gay club.
But there's a story I've recently been telling about Diddy. I said it on Drink Champs for the first time. Me and Faison Love kind of had a little laugh fest when I brought this up. I was at a club. This was years ago. This was maybe 2006 or so. The time I was a broke DJ, so when you're broke, you kind of depend on merch. Mm-hmm. You know, these companies giving you free clothes, you know, so you could look kind of fresh without having to spend a lot of money. And there was this company named Stalin Dean. They did these really dope throwbacks with teams that didn't exist anymore. So they're running this whole kind of series with these old Negro League teams. Right. And there was a team called the Brown Bombers. And my man Rikers, who worked there, you know, was really cool with me. So he gave me this Brown Bombers jacket with a matching hat. And it was like, I was feeling myself. I'm like, okay, like no one else has this. Like, yo, I'm about to go hit the club with this. So I was out in the club, and Puffy was in the club as well. And this guy approached me, and he was like, yo, man, I work for Puffy. Oh, okay, cool, what's up? He goes, hey, man, Puffy really likes that jacket you're wearing.
Take that.
He's wondering if you want to sell it to him.
You had to pay him in dick.
I said, no, man, I'm not going to sell my jacket. Are you sure? Because it's going to be some money. I said, nah, man, I'm cool. And honestly, having another man offer to buy my jacket off me is really kind of weird. If you ask me, nah, I'm cool. No thanks.
I'm going to be, hold up now. Objection. I don't see that as a weird thing. Listen, if you a rich motherfucker and you go, yo, that fucking jacket hot, and you go, I give you $5,000 for a jacket that probably costs maybe half that, if that, you wouldn't sell it? And that make them gay?
I didn't say he was gay by saying that. At
okay,
no point did I say it was
But why
gay.
do you find that weird? Because one thing about rich motherfuckers, they used to getting what they want when they want. That's part of the power of being rich.
I guess in retro, I just felt it was kind of disrespectful. I felt like
disrespectful would have been if his boys beat you up and took the jacket.
Right.
He offered you money.
He offered me money. I guess all he had to do was say, that's a dope jacket, where'd you get it? And then the next day, he goes and gets that jacket.
But maybe he doesn't want to go the next day. Maybe he wants to wear the motherfucker right now. And because it's a dope jacket and he's who he is, that adds to his dopeness.
Yeah.
I don't think that's weird at all.
I thought it was weird.
Oh, honey, let me tell you why Diddy's losing his mind. Clive Davis has decided to spill some scalding hot tea, and trust me, it's burning the streets up right now. Now, if you don't know who Clive Davis is, let me school you real quick. This man's been in the music game longer than some of y'all been alive. He's the big boss who's worked with icons like Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, and the list goes on. When Clive talks, people listen. Period. So here's the thing. Clive's apparently been sitting on some juicy gossip about Diddy for years, but the million-dollar question is, why is he spilling the tea now? Is he tired of keeping secrets? Got a book deal coming? Who knows, but one thing's for sure, he ain't holding back anymore. What's got Diddy so worked up? Oh, girl, you better buckle up. Clive's talking about Diddy's private affairs. And I don't mean business deals. Nope. We're talking about his personal life, and let's just say this isn't the kind of stuff Diddy wants getting out. Word on the street is Clive is ready to expose Diddy's relationships with men. Yep, you heard that right. Clive's claiming Diddy's been playing for both teams, and he's got the receipts to back it up. Now, I'm not one to judge, but you know this kind of revelation could wreck someone's image. Clive's not just hinting at things either. He's naming names, giving dates, sharing details that only someone deep in the industry would know. It's like he's been keeping a secret diary all these years, and now he's reading it out loud for the whole world to hear. But here's the kicker. Clive Davis ain't no gossip blogger. He's a respected figure in the music industry, so when he speaks, people listen. This isn't just random chatter. This is Clive freaking Davis. So now everyone's asking, why now? Why is Clive choosing this moment to spill the tea? Oh, you know the drama's only just getting started. Stay tuned.
Silent.
Wendy Williams, she got fired from the radio in New York because she basically said she had seen some pictures of Puffy with some men, and he basically called the radio station and said, you either fire her or I'm going to sue you. So she got fired. Right. There was this comedian named the Fat Jew who said that he walked into a party on Star Island and he saw Diddy spooning with this one gay DJ named Felix the House Cat.
Yeah, that's my man Felix.
You know Felix?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was there a relationship of any sort between Felix and Diddy?
I can't say yes and I can't say no. I've never seen them do anything, but he was one of the in crowds. He was one of the in people with Diddy, where you had like certain people that were just Diddy friends. You know, we got to know them throughout time, but they would pop up at the parties in San Tropez, pop up in the parties at Cannes. You know, these were just his personal friends. So they would do ecstasy and everything else together. You know what I'm saying? Felix stayed at the house and everything else like that. So I've never actually seen them do anything physical or anything like that, but I do know Felix well.
Yeah, you know, and Felix is openly gay.
Right.
From what I understand. And I mean, this is where the gray area comes in. You don't know. You know, I've taken ecstasy before and you get real like, yo, I love you, man. Like you touch on, you know, you're not touching on dudes sexually, but you hugging them, I love you, man. You know, kiss them, you know, like in the forehead or something, you know, and it's like at the time, it's just like, yo, man, you know, it's not a gay thing.
Right.
But it's just like you just get into a certain mood. Is Diddy gay? Is he bisexual? I personally don't know. These stories circulate. Hard to tell. I don't know. I've never seen anything gay. You've never seen anything gay. I don't know. But people say that if he just came out as bisexual, it'd actually help him out at this point.
Yeah, I felt the same way. You know, people always tell me, if you had to ask me, I would say he was definitely bisexual. But coming from Harlem, representing gangster rap at that time, it's not like 2024. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he was fighting that fact so much that for him to come out now, he felt like it would destroy everything that he built.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I felt like that he should have just said exactly what it was back then. Because the question is now is not about whether you're gay or not. It's about domestic violence.
Yeah.
You know, being the gay part is just something extra on there, something to spruce about. But it's the part that to hide these things, you're beating people, you're beating women, you're doing all type of things to hide these things.
Yeah, I remember I joked around about, you know, I wonder who's going to be the first friend of Diddy who accidentally says no Diddy around him. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what
Some people are saying Clive is speaking out now because times have changed and he feels like it's finally safe to do so. Others think there might be some bad blood between him and Diddy. Whatever the reason, it's causing a major storm in the music industry right now. And let me tell you, it's not just about Diddy. Clive's revelations are making waves all over Hollywood. People are starting to wonder, what other secrets does he have? Who else could he be ready to talk about next? It's like he's opened Pandora's box and no one knows what might spill out next. So that's the tea, sis. Clive Davis, the man who's seen it all in the music biz, is finally talking. And what he's saying about Diddy is enough to make anyone lose their cool. No wonder Diddy's freaking out. His whole world could be about to change, all because Clive decided it was time to break his silence. Buckle up, because this drama is far from over.
Did he have Whitney killed? Where my bill
You
at?
already seen my nails.
Where my
This is what I'm going to say about that whole situation, because for me, so many people don't want to say anything because it's Clive. Personally, me, I really don't give a fuck. They said I was blackballed. I can't be no more blackballed than I am. Clive Davis knows exactly who I am. I know exactly who he is. The last time I went to a party at his house, my ex-husband was with me and the nigga hit on my husband in front of me, yo. Like he walks around here. on my husband, on my ex-husband.
Okay.
Which was, it's his type. Everybody know Clive wants to be a black woman.
What?
That's why he always surrounds himself with black women. Look at his roster of major stars. Aretha Franklin, Cissy Houston, Whitney Houston, Angie Stone.
Wow.
And everybody forgets about Angie Stone.
True. We kind of do. That's true.
Everybody forgets that before Alicia Keys, Angie Stone was holding it down, gold record after gold record after gold record after gold record. And then the next thing you know, Alicia Keys comes.
So so I do know, because I heard about it like in his biography or whatever. Clive Davis did say that he's bisexual, but you telling me like no, he's like a queen. In my opinion,
he's a queen.
He's a queen. Okay.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Most queens want to be black women.
So he's like a yes type, like
yeah. On the low.
Wow.
But I'm not gonna bite my words. The nigga hit on my husband right in my face. I was like, you out of your fucking mind. So I didn't get a whole lot of invitations back to none of them come suckle at the Tea to Power Grammy parties the night before the Grammys.
Yeah.
What I will say about Clive is that he is very, very, very obsessed with maintaining the brands that he creates. And he will go to extreme lengths to protect those brands. These women that he works with, they become dolls in his mind. They're living dolls. He runs every second of their lives. The only person he never really did that with was Aretha Franklin, but that was a different time.
Right.
He needed Aretha Franklin to become Clive Davis.
So he was a little bit more humble back then.
Well, I mean, you ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice. Everybody comes into the game having to make their bones. He made his bones with Aretha. And what a person to make your bones with.
True.
Aretha hit. Now everyone's looking to him. Clive knows the singers. Clive knows this. It wasn't Clive that knew the singers. It was Aretha that knew the singers, who introduced the singers to Clive. But they don't talk about that either. So you got to realize by the time Clive took over managing Whitney, I mean, he had been a part of her life, damn near all her life. He had his postal in that bloodline, yo. Heavy.
Girl, when I say Diddy's losing it, I'm not exaggerating. The man is in full-on meltdown mode, and it's a sight to see. You know how Diddy's usually cool as a cucumber? Well, not anymore. He's acting like someone just told him they're discontinuing his favorite drink. So, what's Diddy doing? The streets are saying he's been blowing up phones, trying to do damage control. He's calling everyone in his contacts, music execs, celebrity friends. It's like a dramatic game of telephone, and honey, he's losing. And that's not even the half of it. Diddy's social media is a mess. One minute he's posting cryptic messages about truth and loyalty. The next, he's deleting everything faster than you can say bad boy for life. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, but on Instagram.
And pitch. They could fill a whole church without microphones. See, that's singing, yo.
That is.
Because I'm going to tell you something right now. But everything that Whitney Houston is, she will bow down to Karen Clark Sheard, period. She would bow down. And Twinkie.
Oh my God. Karen Clark Sheard. Oh my God. Y'all going to think I'm crazy. Is that?
That's Kiara's mom.
I knew who Kiara was this whole time and didn't know who.
Kiara is your generation.
Wow. Okay.
But Kiara's grandma is Dr. Maddie Moss.
Yeah.
Man, she was the gospel gangster.
Because that's how they portrayed her. She was like,
no,
she was about her money, about her business.
Listen to me. My husband told me, he was like, they didn't do it right in the movie. He was like, she would literally take her shoe off and throw it at you if you was off on a note.
Damn.
Oh, your mom and dad told you that? Yeah. Because they remember, because they sang in the choir. Yeah, in the state choir. And so it's like, you got to look at who Cissy Houston is. When it comes to that. Like there's nobody that's been able to go between the gospel world and the secular world, not just as a vocalist, not just as a choir director, not just as a musical director, not just at, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Sissy a beast. So if you that kind of beast, why wouldn't you defer to what your mom say?
Because you're gonna feel like my mom knows what she's talking about. She's a legend.
Period.
Yeah.
And this is all before. Now, if you go back and look at the movie and listen to the story, she was getting hooked on cocaine at about that same time. Life was a whirlwind. And before she knew it, she was the biggest thing ever. I don't even think she knew she was going to be that big, but Clive knew. He had been planning it for quite some time. That Merv Griffin show, total setup.
Okay.
Total setup. For Merv, when she did the Merv Griffin, and then she did, I think it was Johnny Carson, who was white America.
Yes. Yes.
If you were black on that show, oh, nigga, you Michael Jackson.
Yeah. He was that one. He had late night on lock. That's a true legend.
Yeah, he was David Letterman before David Letterman.
Yes.
So that's Whitney. And now her life is boom and it's a whirlwind. She's constantly on tour. She barely has a chance to figure out what her personal life looks like, what she wants for herself, what's important to her. But then she has all of these demands. Money, 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 money. I'm gonna tell you when I was done having any real respect for Clive Davis. When he made her end her marriage and separated at home. And Bobby Chris, even though they were dysfunctional on so many different levels, they were still a family. He separated that family for optics. And guess what? I can go up on YouTube right now and pull up footage of that European tour. It was a shame. It was a disgrace. You go and look up YouTube Whitney Houston in Kazakhstan. See, before she came back with the I Look to You, Clive sent her out on a world tour outside of America. Collect a bunch of cash. They was getting like $250,000 to $350,000 a show.
Wow.
They were getting hell of a lot more than they were getting here because this is Whitney Houston. And she had been gone for a while. And Clive, oh, she's making a big comeback. And of course, if Clive said it's got to be true.
Right. His word is law. Yeah.
The show that she did in Kazakhstan, it was for the president. For the she was there to do the birthday performance for the president. She only had to do 4 or 5 songs. A half an hour, $250,000.
Wow.
For a half an hour. And when I tell you she was so high, she started crip walking under her gown.
Oh.
She was crip walking in a $15,000 gown on a $100,000 stage with the light up and the Kazakhstan wave dances. She couldn't even remember her songs. The background singers were stepping in. Like, it was bad. Wow. It was bad. And then she did the whole Marilyn Monroe. And then she was cracking. Her voice was, it was, I'm gonna put it to you this way. The first time I saw it, it made me cry.
Really?
Because I thought to myself, why the fuck would they put her out on the road like that if she wasn't prepared? If she wasn't ready. But see, she had to make that money. Clive needed that money.
Yeah.
Just in case she crashed and burned before they could do a U.S. tour. And she embarrassed him here and he couldn't get no break.
Don't even get me started on Diddy's public statements. His PR team must be working overtime because the man can't seem to keep his story straight. First, he's denying everything. Then he's saying Clive Davis is confused, and now he's talking about privacy, claiming real friends don't kiss and tell. Girl, which one is it? You want to know the tea? Clive Davis says some people are saying Diddy's even threatening to sue. Can you imagine Diddy in court, trying to explain why he's so pressed about Clive Davis spilling some tea? Now that would be a pay-per-view event I'd pay to see. But here's the thing. Diddy's attempts to control the narrative are backfiring. The more he tries to shut it down, the more people are getting curious. It's like he's throwing gasoline on a fire and then wondering why it's getting bigger. Let's be real. His reaction is making people think there's more to the story. If it was all lies, why is he freaking out so much? That's what everyone's asking. The louder Diddy yells, the more people think Clive Davis might actually be onto something.
I'm not hating on him for getting money.
Me either.
I'm just hating on the way he got it. And I'm hating on the overall effect of what it's done to not only the artist on his label, the artist that got shelved, the artist that got dropped. Not only that, but what he did to culture. Because he made culture like an Andy Warhol painting. And don't get me wrong, Andy Warhol, great artist.
Right.
But let's keep it a bean. Andy Warhol was pop culture. That's what if I were to put a label on Puff, I would say that he's the Andy Warhol of hip hop.
The Andy Warhol. Okay. I hear you.
And he got smart and he listened to all of his advisors, mostly Clive Davis, and he won. Like, he was determined to win. Like, nobody knew how determined he was to win. Like, that whole thing with Father MC, he covered that thing up real fast.
What happened with him and Father MC?
There was a party down at Howard, one of the infamous parties, and they had gotten too big and he didn't have proper security. He didn't have proper permits, and there was a stampede, and Father MC's woman got trampled to death.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And
now, how does one go about covering up something like that?
Well, I mean, apparently you pay people. From what I've been told, he's been paying, what is it? What's the not the World Star, the other one? The Shade Room. He's been paying the Shade Room not to post my post. That's what I was told. Someone hit me up in the DM and was like, stop tagging. So they got on my feed and was like, stop tagging the Shade Room. He's paying them not to post it.
Yeah, I can believe that. It's a couple other artists that pay them too not to. Yep. I'm not hating. I'm not hating. If they paying you that money, they paying you that money. But just understand, the second that you jump into somebody's pocket, you stay in their pocket. Forever.
Period.
Yeah.
Because if you'll take the money once, you'll take the money twice. If you'll take the money twice, you'll take the money 3 times. And once they get used to getting that money, now you've given the other person all of the control. So what happens when you want to break a story that you really want to break and somebody comes to pay it, but everybody else is going viral and you're missing the boat?
Yeah. And right now we're talking about the Shade Room and Diddy. Allegedly, Diddy has paid the Shade Room not to repost Jaguar's post. I can tell you guys, I know for a fact there's a couple other artists that paid the Shade Room to only post positive things. Hey, you get your money how you do. Allegedly, some YouTubers are being paid too to only post positive things. That's fine. You get it how you do. I like to be able to talk free.
I am a hustler. I would never tell nobody not to get no money.
Right, me either.
But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself what you're living for. Are you living for what you're building for yourself, what you're building for your career, what you're building for your legacy? Are you living to be in somebody's pocket?
Yeah. Yeah, you can be of the people.
Puff has always had a lot of people in his pocket.
Yeah.
Like I said in my post, he's probably one of the only people in this industry that has more secrets than me.
Really?
Yeah. All those cover-ups, all of those stories. Like the simple fact that people still didn't know that the East Coast, West Coast was engineered by him and Suge. They did a great job acting that whole thing out. But it was all to sell records. It was a marketing scheme. And then when they start, when people started losing control of the stars, next thing you know, people started disappearing. Now, a bunch of people have gotten on my page and asked me, do I know who killed Biggie and Tupac? What I will say about that is this. Allegedly, everybody knows.
Oh.
Allegedly. Everybody knows, but nobody's going to say anything.
But do you know?
What I will say is this. When you start bumping into certain groups and entourages of people, and you see key players that are there sometimes and not there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When they're there, ain't nothing popping, but when they're not there, things are popping. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm following.
You know, there are certain people that hang out with certain groups of people, and you see them. They're in pictures, they're on the red carpet, they're around. But then things start popping off. You don't see those people. They're not in those pictures. They're not on the red carpet. They're nowhere around. So where the hell were they? They're at every other party. They're in every other picture. They're standing by you everywhere else except for when this person went missing or this person got shot. You know, the art of misdirection is a skill that most record executives use. So considering that the public has absolutely no idea what's happening behind the curtain or behind the velvet rope, it gives them a great advantage to paint whatever story they want to paint. So what I will say is there are some peanut gallery attendees that conveniently disappear off the scene at certain times. And everyone knows this. Now, I'm not speaking on anyone in particular. I'm just saying we got to pay more attention to the people that show up in pictures when they show up and when they don't show up. Because it's all there.
Some of Diddy's friends are trying to help, posting supportive messages and all that, but it's like trying to stop a tidal wave with a beach umbrella. This story's got legs and is running all over town. The funniest part? Some people are saying Diddy's whole meltdown is actually confirming what Clive Davis said. Like, if it wasn't true, why is Diddy acting like the world's about to end? Whoa, he's giving big, the lady doth protest too much energy, if you catch my drift. So what's Diddy's next move? The streets are saying he might be planning a big announcement or interview to try and set the record straight. But girl, at this point, I don't know if that's going to help or just make things worse. One thing's for sure though, this drama ain't over yet. Diddy's meltdown is just getting started, and we're all here for the show.
I was being funny. But y'all know who this guy is? You didn't catch what I asked you. Who is this guy? So this guy is a dude named Santana, Saucy Santana. If y'all know anything about him, and he claps back, so trust me, he gonna clap back if I ask, but I don't care. Y'all know what he is, right? Y'all can look at him and tell what he is, right? But Saucy Santana, number one, I'm so disappointed in LA, man. I wouldn't believe that LA people would be out there supporting him at a concert and BET experience. But I guess that's the era we in now. I thought that was some shit for Atlanta. Or Frisco or some shit like that. You niggas in DC. I didn't know we was like that. Maybe West Hollywood, but you know, they only like the white boys. They don't like no big black dudes like that. But, that person, people that's deep into this internet stuff really knows, but a lot of y'all don't know, like John don't know. That's Young Miami best friend, y'all. Young Miami best friend. So we know about Puffy now, right? And we know Puffy like to use and have friends around and, you know, of his girlfriends that are like to go both ways, right? I bet y'all $1 million that this nigga was the one that was fucking on Puffy Combs, y'all. This is Puffy Combs' bitch. Young Miami, who is his best friend, who always with him, that is a cover. That nigga right there, this person right here, that's who y'all boy Diddy was fucking on. That's Diddy's woman. I guarantee y'all. Y'all keep watching. Y'all keep listening. Y'all stand by. It's going to come out real soon. Y'all remember y'all heard it from Bomb first and Reggie right first. But yeah, I'm just saying, shout out to the BET Awards. It was last night. Thought it was cool. I kind of liked it. You know, I'm not into the young rappers. I love what Usher did. Usher, man. Tell you, Usher, Chris Brown, R. Kelly. But I know, you know, our mamas and everybody love Charlie Wilson. And who's gonna be, man, he gonna be at essence of this war in New in New Orleans. Him and Usher. Man, if I was right, I still would be in New Orleans this weekend coming up. Because him, and then they're doing a tribute to Frankie Beverly. Man, that's going to be a hell of a concert for us people over 50. Y'all didn't hear about it. Those of y'all in the New Orleans area, y'all should try to go and see that concert this weekend. But I'm so disappointed in how these rappers and these young dudes look now with these skinny jeans wearing. It's a different era, boy. It's a different era. And y'all lucky